Teresa Simmons Copeland. I've been doing a occasional blog on being a widow. It is 12:59 a.m. on Sunday, April 28th. In 4 hours and 6 minutes, it'll be exactly 2 years since my husband passed away. 5:01 a.m. I can't believe it's been 2 years. It just happened in my head, and that day just plays over in my head all the time. My life has changed a lot in 2 years. I sold our house. I moved. I'm living on my own for the first time in my life, honestly. It's the first time I've ever been alone. If you call it alone. I had 12 dogs. I just recently lost one of my dogs. So I have 11 dogs and 2 cats, so I'm not really alone, but it's the first time I've ever lived by myself without another human being around. And that's been difficult. I guess I'm a people person. I sometimes don't really like people. Obviously, I like animals. But at the same time, I'm not a big fan of being by myself. And I always had JD. And so I've been trying to figure out who I am alone and without him, without being a part of something bigger. You know what I mean? Like, when you're married, you're an us. It's us. And when you're a widow or widower, then you're not part of an us anymore. You just got to figure out who you are. So it's been challenging. It has its ups and downs. This month has been insane. April. On April 20th, we had a grandson, James. James was JD's name. Our youngest son, James Douglas Copeland Jr., and his wife Jackie had a baby, rainbow baby, little Jet, and he's perfect. And he is our 6th grandbaby. 7 if you count Jackson, which I do. Jackson was the baby, Jimmy and Jackie's baby, that he passed. He was premature and stillborn, and he's with Mr. Copeland in heaven. And so that was a joyous occasion. And then April 22nd, 2 days later, was mine and JD's, what would have been our 37th anniversary. That was kind of sad. I handled it well. I didn't have any breakdowns. My daughter took me to lunch, and I love to talk about JD. It probably drives other people crazy, but I love to talk about him. So we went and lunch, and I had a chicken pot pie because that's what we liked, and it was terrible. But and then on the 24th, our oldest grandson turned 22. That was pretty amazing to have a 4-day-old grandchild and a 22-year-old grandchild, and that was good. And then 4 days later, here we are on the 28th, JD's 2-year anniversary. So it's just been an up and down month for me emotionally, and just busy at a convention and lots of stuff going on. I'm tired. I'm emotionally exhausted just from the roller coaster ride, and other things. There are things going on that I'm trying to let go of, but emotionally I'm a little frustrated. I try not to be, so that's kind of exhausting. And I just keep replaying my husband's passing over and over in my head. You know. Anyway. So I live out here in Mission, in what was my grandmother's house, then my dad's house. And I got a lot of real pretty birds out here that Mr. Copeland would love. And I think I've crossed a point where I'm starting to make it my home. I've been here since October of... I moved out here in October of 22, but I didn't start selling my house until months later. So it took me quite a while to sell the house, to get it empty and move everything over here. But I finally started planting some plants, and I bought a rose bush, and I'm going to plant it today in Mr. Copeland's honor. I bought a real pretty big pot, and so I'm starting to put down some roots, which is good. But nobody gives you any instructions on what to do when you lose the love of your life, and your soulmate, and your best friend, and the person you want to talk to. Every time something happens, I want to talk to him, tell him about it, or show him, hey, look at this or look at that, and with the new baby. Anyway, I really don't have anything to say. I'm just awake and sad, and these videos kind of help me process. I always say that I know nobody's seeing them, but they help me. And I always figure maybe if someone accidentally comes upon them and they're a new widow or widower, that maybe it'll help them to see that whatever you're feeling, there's someone that feels it also. I know there's somebody sitting somewhere right now that's feeling exactly what I'm feeling. So I'm not alone. Even though it feels like it, I know that somebody can relate, which is good, because sometimes after your spouse dies, you feel like that nobody can relate. Or when you mention their name, you can almost feel people rolling their eyes like they think you should be over it. It's been 2 years. Should be moving forward. It's been 2 years for everybody else. For me, it's been the blink of an eye. So, anyway. Yeah. It's just going to be one of those days. I'll get through it, because that's what we do. We get through it and move forward, because there's no other options. Anyway, that's all. Happy heavenly birthday, or anniversary, I don't know what you call it, Mr. Copeland. I miss you. Adios.